Hi, I'm Roxana from VP State, and in this video I will show how to translate the WPRentals theme. The default language of the WPRentals theme is English, but you can translate the theme and set the language that you need. The theme supports only one language and you can easily translate it. In this video you will learn how to translate the default strings of the theme and the ones that are manually added. I have a domain here where I just imported a demo. The best way to add translation in your site is with a child theme, so you would not lose your work on theme updates, but I will also show how to manage translations with the main theme. You can translate the theme using a third-party plugin like the Loco Translate one or using a local system like Poedit. In this video I will use Loco Translate as it is easier to manage, as you can manage translations from admin. The first step in translating your site is to set the site language as you need it. For that you will need to go to Settings, General, and here set your language. I will set it to Spanish and save changes. The next step is to install the Loco Translate plugin. For that I will go to Plugins, press Add New Plugin, look for the Loco Translate plugin and install it in your site. I will activate it. Next I will show how to manage translations for the main theme without using the child theme. I will go to Loco Translate. The theme strings can be found under the WPRentals theme and under the WPRentals core plugin. I will start with the theme. I will open WPRentals. Here it is very important to generate the language file for your site. Do not edit the template, just generate the language file for your site. You'll need to select the language here, select the author option here and generate the translation file. Once this is done, you can start translating the WPRentals theme. I will go on front end and I will show an example. One of the default theme strings is the featured label that shows over the card when a property is featured. To translate it, you will need to look for the string. This is the one. Select it and here add the translations in your language. You will need to save the change, go back on front end, refresh the page, and now the translation applies. The steps are simple and you just need to check all theme default strings and add translations. As mentioned, the translations needs to be done in the theme language file and in the core plugin language file. So after you generated translation file for the theme, you will need to do the same for the core plugin. So you will need to go to plugins and open WPRentals theme core functionality. Here you'll have already added the language files for the languages that we already have included in the theme. So if your site has one of the languages from the available files, you just need to edit it. But if your language is not within these files, you will need to generate it. For that, you'll need to click New Language, select here the language for your site, set author and generate the translation file. The process is the same as the one for the main theme language file. Next, I will show how to translate the theme using a child theme. The first step is to install the child theme in your site. You will find the file for the child theme in the theme pack. You will need to go in your buyer account on ThemeForest and download the full theme pack. I already did this and I have the theme pack downloaded in my device. I will unzip the theme pack and here you will have the WPRentals child zip to install in your site. I will go back on my domain. I will add a new theme and I will choose the child theme file from my device. I will install and activate. In the child theme, you'll have translation files for many languages already made. I will go to Loco Translate. I will select WPRentals child theme. To see all languages, you will need to set it correctly. You'll need to go to Advanced here, add here WPRentals child name. Here, set languages WPRentals spot, and here languages, and the option here delete. Save, go back, and now you can see all translations files available. The files here will apply based on your site language. The translations are made with machines or from other clients, so you will need to check and edit. I will show how to do that. For example, my site language is Spanish and the translation file from child theme is translated 100%. This means that on front end, the theme default strings will show in Spanish. You can see this here. Not all strings will be translated because you will also have strings that were added manually and they will need to be manually changed to your language. But you can see that the default strings are translated. Going back to Loco Translate, if you want to edit the translation from your child theme, you will need to press edit button, and here look for the string, click it and change the translation here. The process is a simple one, and this will cover the strings from the theme. Next, you will need to check the strings from the core plugin. For that, you'll need to go to plugins, select WPRentals theme core functionality. Here you will also have already made translations. For Spanish language that I selected in my site, I already have the file, and to manage translation I will just need to edit and review the translations already added. The translations from the WPRentals theme core functionality mostly apply in the backend section. For example, if you want to change the strings here, the changes need to be done in the core plugin language file. I will show an example and I will edit the translation for listings. I will save the changes, I will refresh, and now the change that I made is visible. This covers the theme default strings, and next I will explain how to manage theme options and other manual strings. I will start with the listing page. On this listing page we have a custom template assigned created with Elementor. So here you will have strings that come from the listing page, default strings, and strings that come from the custom template. So first I will check the custom template, which can be found in the WPRentals Studio section. You will have the property template, which you will need to edit with Elementor, and here you will need to check the strings that are added manually. For example, in the overview section, the fields for guests, bedroom, bathrooms need to be manually adjusted. You will need to change the labels here and add them in your language. The description section will be managed directly from the listing page. You'll have other sections that were added manually and you'll need to manually change them, like the section title here. Now I will go back to the studio section and disable the custom so I can show the adjustments that you need to make if you use the default listing template. I will disable the template and refresh the listing page. Now you'll have the default template. If you add new listings, then you will add the details directly in your language. Details like title, description. But if you use demo listings and you just edit them and replace demo content with your own, you will need to edit the listing and change details, the title and description. For the default strings, the translations from Loco Translate will apply, but for taxonomies, sections, labels, sleeping situation, custom fields, feature and amenities, you'll need to make adjustments in theme options. So I will go back to admin. I will keep theme options in English, but if the translation is added in the core plugin, you'll have it in your own language. So first you will need to change the labels in the listing custom fields. You'll need to change field label for your language and also the elements for the dropdown. The custom fields will show under details. Only the property ID, rooms, bathrooms, size and bedrooms will be managed from the Loco Translate. The rest of the fields are custom fields and the label is managed from theme options. In theme options, listing page text labels, you can also manage the strings for each listing page section. You'll need to replace here the English words with the ones in your language. And also you will need to change type of beds. These labels will show in the listing page in the sleeping arrangement section. Once you save changes in listing page on refresh, the section labels will change to your language. In the listing page you will also have property taxonomies like category, type and feature and amenities. They can be managed from backend. You will need to go to listing bookings and more and open each section for the listing taxonomies, listing categories, types, city, area, features and status. I will show. If you imported a demo, you will have the demo taxonomies. You can remove all of them and add your own in your language, or you can edit the demo one. If you edit, you will need to change the name into your language, remove the English slug and leave WordPress to generate it correctly, and update. The same needs to be done for all categories. For the search to work, it is necessary for the title of the taxonomies to match the slugs. This is why we will leave WordPress generated for us. And now on front end, the taxonomies will show in the new language. The same needs to be done for features and amenities. Remove all of them or edit and add in your language, or just edit and translate them. For the features and amenities, you need to be aware that when you edit features and amenities for the new elements to show in the front-end submission form, you will need to select them from theme options. I will edit amenities, change the name, and now I will need to go to WPRentals options, add listing page and payment settings, and from the list of the fields that will show in the front-end submission form, I will need to select again the edit element. These are the labels that you need to manage from admin for the listing page. Next, I will show what you need to do in the home page. I will start with the menu. The menu labels can be managed from admin, appearance, menus. You'll need to select here the menu that you want to edit and set the label for frontend in your language. Save the change, and now on frontend, on refresh, the menu label will show the change that I made. Other strings that need to be managed manually are the search form label. If the search is created with the search form builder as we have it in this demo, then the labels need to be translated from the page editor. So I will edit the home page with Elementor. I will select the search form, and under form fields you will need to change the form fields labels with labels in your language. If you set the search from theme options, then the labels need to be managed from theme options. This will apply for the search type tree, where you can add custom fields and the label is added here. Also, in the search section, you'll have half map search form where you can manage the labels for the fields shown in the half map. You can change them in your language here. The changes made in theme options for the half map will apply in the filter area here. For going back to the Elementor editor, sections in pages created with Elementor that have text will need to be manually edited, and the text needs to be replaced with the version for your language. Each section needs to be checked and edited. I will go back to homepage. Here you'll have the user dashboard. You'll see that the labels for the pages are already translated, but if you open the sections, here you'll have the page's title that you need to replace manually. For that, you'll need to edit the page and simply add the page title in your language. The change will be reflected here. Going further, you will also need to manually adjust the titles added for the widgets in sidebar and in footers. For the sidebars, you will need to go to Appearance, Widgets, and here you'll need to replace the title added for each widget used in sidebar or in footers. If your site has a custom footer, then the labels need to be managed from the WPRentals Studio template, and you will need to edit the footer template with Elementor. The same will apply for all templates created with Elementor. So in the custom templates, you'll need to select each element and change the English text to the one in your language. So to summarize the theme translations, most of the strings are the default ones, and you can manage them with Loco Translate in both theme and core plugin, and you will also have strings that are manually added from demo or from settings, and those needs to be manual replaced. This wraps our video. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get instant notifications on new videos.